You're living in Lublino, southeast Moscow, early 2000s. The Soviet Union collapsed a decade ago, but you'd never know it was over. The apartment blocks look like stripped concrete. Elevators are busted. The stairwells smell like ammonia. Every single day. Your dad is either gone or drinking. Honestly? Same thing. There's a crew in the neighborhood. You can't see the structure, but you can feel it. Certain guys, the ones the corner store owner waves in without a word, the ones people step aside for on the street. Not cops. Not government workers. Just guys. But everybody shows them respect. You notice this as a kid. It pulls at you. You want that. Whatever that is, you want it. By the time you're 14, you get your shot. A guy asks you to carry an envelope. Back door of the corner market to a car 3 blocks away. You don't ask what's inside, because asking would be stupid. You're done in 15 minutes. 200 rubles in your hand. That's a week of food money for you. But that's not the point. The point is, Dima saw you. And he called you back. You're with us now, he said. You're a sheshtyorka. The word literally means the lowest number on a die. In the Russian criminal world, it means the guy at the very bottom of the ladder. You carry messages. You watch corners. You show up when you're called. Sounds like an insult. It's not. It's a rank. Everybody starts here. Everybody. Over the next 6 months you start piecing things together. Which group Dima answers to? Who runs it? Where the money comes from and where it goes. Nobody tells you any of this. You observe. You listen. You stand outside doors and file away what you hear. One rule gets drilled into you during this time. One rule above everything else. Don't ask. Do the job. Come back. Wait. You're 16 when they give you your first real job. There's a shop, one of the spots in Dima's territory that pays protection. The owner is 2 months behind. You and 2 other guys are told to go in, break some things and send a message. No talking. No threats. Just damage. The job takes 4 minutes. The next morning the owner brings the money. That earns you a step up. You're a boy, it's now. A soldier. The operational layer of the organization. The word literally means fighter in Russian. But in this life the fight isn't always in the street. Boys collect debts. Move product. Deliver messages to rival crews. Sometimes with words, sometimes not. In the early 2000s, Moscow's organized crime world is getting reshaped under Putin. The chaotic Bratva crews from the Yeltsin era, loose structure, lots of violence, zero strategy, are either falling apart or merging into something tighter, something deeper. The ones that survive all have one thing in common: discipline. And discipline starts at the bottom. So you fall in line. For 2 years you don't make a single mistake. That sounds easy. Only you know how hard it actually is. In this life, a mistake is a mistake. There's no such thing as small or big. Say the wrong thing to the wrong guy. Done. Make a call without permission. Done. Half-ass a job. Done. Done doesn't always mean dead. Sometimes it's worse. You make none of those mistakes. Discipline is in your bones now. You show up on time. You finish the job. You report back. And most importantly, you watch. You memorize how the brigadier makes decisions. How he talks to different people. How he carries himself in a room. At 18, the brigadier gives you a different kind of job. You're going to sit in on a meeting. No notes. No phone. Just listen. Who said what, who reacted how, who stayed quiet, and what that silence meant. Then you report back. You do it perfectly. That day changes everything. You're 19 when you go in. A transport job goes wrong. A small warehouse transfer on the outskirts of Moscow. The police are already there when you arrive. Ambush, tip-off, bad luck. You'll never find out which. You go to court. 3 years. They send you to a zona. A Russian prison. Your only thought walking in is simple: survive. Figure out the rules. Figure out the system. The zona has its own hierarchy. Its own rules. When those gates close, the state stays outside. Inside the block there's an order, ancient, rigid, unwritten, but everybody knows it. At the top are certain men. They're called vorvi zakon, thieves-in-law. Men who don't live by the state's rules, they live by their own. Those rules are called Ponyatiya. Never written down, but everybody knows them. You never snitch. You never cooperate with the government. You never serve in the military. You never hold a straight job. The brotherhood comes before everything and everyone. Those who accept the rules get protection. Those who don't get pushed to the bottom and left alone. Being alone in the zona is the most dangerous thing there is. So you make sure you're not alone. There's an older man in your block. Alexei. Mid-50s. Tattoos covering his hands. Every tattoo tells a story. The stars on his shoulders mark him as a vor. The symbols on his knuckles show how many times he's been inside, what he's been convicted of. In this world, tattoos are a resume. When you meet someone new, you check their hands first. The time you spend in the zona doesn't break you. It teaches you. You absorb every rule of the Ponyatiya like it's air. You learn to read the block. Who looks at who and how, what's being negotiated even in silence, what signs show up before a conflict breaks out. Alexei watches you. Never says a word. Just watches. 3 months in, he talks to you for the first time. He asks one question. What are you going to do when you get out? You give him a short, clean answer. Keep doing what I know. He nods. That nod is worth more to you than money or weapons. You're 22 when you walk out. Moscow looks different. Or maybe you do. Dima is waiting. You're back with the crew, but in a different position this time. He knows what you saw in there. What you learned. He knows Alexei spent time on you. That's a reference. Within 6 months you've built your own crew. 6 guys. All younger than you or the same age. You're a brigadier now. The brigadier stands right in the middle of the organization. The guys above you want results. The guys below you want direction. You manage both pressures at the same time. Your territory, 5 neighborhoods in East Moscow. Small businesses pay monthly. A convenience store 8,000 rubles. A restaurant 25 to 40,000. Total portfolio roughly 280,000 rubles a month. 40% goes up the chain. 10% covers crew expenses. The rest goes into the collective fund. The collective fund, Obshchak. You learned what that word means in the zona. Every crew has one. It's where the money pools, for the families of guys who are inside, for lawyers, for guys getting back on their feet. Someone has to manage it. Someone trusted. That job goes to you. Your first real test comes at 24. One of your guys, Kolya. 2 years working together. He makes a deal on his own. No permission. An outside buyer. Using the organization's product. When you find out, you don't move. You just sit. You think. Because what you do next will define you. Cover for Kolya, you look weak. Overreact, you look out of control. The right move lives somewhere between those two. You call Kolya in. 20 minutes. Then Kolya leaves, quietly on his own by choice. He doesn't show up again. The autoritet, the level above you, hears how you handled it. 3 months later he calls you to his meeting. You don't know what it's for. If it's good, you move up. If it's bad, nobody knows what happens then. Either way, you show up. The meeting goes better than you expected. You're an autoritet now. In Russian, the word literally means authority. In this hierarchy, it carries a lot of weight. You're not a street guy anymore. You're a table guy. You make decisions. Who gets which territory, which deals go through, how problems get resolved. Every decision has to be strategic. And every strategic decision has a cost. After 2008, the FSB pressure in Moscow gets heavier. The FSB is Putin's domestic intelligence apparatus. They handle organized groups 3 ways: suppress them, work with them, or destroy them. The crews that survive this era all share one trait. They don't stand against the state. They find the middle. They maintain balance. You're one of the guys who builds that balance. What that means in practice: certain city contracts, certain construction projects, certain silence agreements, all run through you. Is it dirty? Yeah. But every crew that's still standing in Moscow after 2008 is doing the same thing. You're managing 40 people now. Solving their problems. Maintaining their loyalty. Knowing what to do and when. That's the job. In this life, isolation is a requirement, and you move alone as much as possible. Because every close relationship is a security risk. Every friend is a potential weak point. You're 28. Never married. You've lived your whole life without breaking the rules of the world you belong to. One day, talking with other crew leaders, the subject comes up. You should be a vor. Your character, your decisions, your track record, it's all pointing in one direction. The people around you have been looking at you like a vor for a while now. You're waiting for the day you get called to the table. Everything looks right. But can you actually become a vor? Vor v Zakone. Thief in law. Let's sit with that for a second. The title was born in Soviet prisons. The 1930s. In Stalin's camp system, thousands of criminals packed together, the state trying to control everything. The criminals built their own system. Their own rules. Their own courts. Their own economy. Everything handled from within. And that system is still running today. Having money doesn't make you a vor. Having connections matters, but it's not enough. The process works like this. An existing vor has to nominate you. Then a meeting has to be called to approve you. That meeting is called a skatka. The criminal congress. The people in the room vote, and the vote has to be close to unanimous. Your skatka is held at a small dacha outside Moscow. 12 vors in the room. Some in their 50s, some past 60. Tattooed hands, stars, churches, playing cards. Inked in Soviet prisons, each one a condensed history. You're the youngest candidate in the room. The questions come. What did you do in the zona? How did you hold to the Ponyatiya? Did you ever snitch? Did you ever make a deal with the state? Every question has another question underneath it. You answer them all, it feels like a ritual because it is one. Then the vote. Welcome vor v Zakone. Lotu. You're 30 years old. When you drive back into the city that night, nothing looks different. Same streets. Same cars. Same Moscow. But in the morning, everything is different. Because you're not the organization's man anymore. You're above the organization. Disputes come to you now. Two crews fighting over territory, you settle it. Someone breaks the Ponyatiya, you judge it. A request comes in from another city, another crew, you decide. A vor's job isn't to make money. It's to maintain balance. And that balance pays well. You organize a major skatka in Sochi. 300 people. Crews from Moscow, St. Petersburg, Georgia, Central Asia. The official reason, a memorial for a fallen vor. The real reason, set the rules for the new era. Establish who stands where. The police raid it. Everyone gets detained. No evidence. Everyone walks. But the news hitting the papers is its own message. 300 men were called, and every single one of them showed up. And everyone knows who organized it. This is a different life now. You move between cities, Istanbul, Dubai, Vienna, wherever the money flows. Construction companies, real estate, offshore accounts, crypto. Clean money in, dirty money out. Open a legitimate company in Europe, funnel the Russian cash through, bring it back as a legal investment. You know the system. You use the system. And the system makes you bigger. But you know something else too. In this world, the top is never fixed. The man making decisions today can be the man decisions are made about tomorrow. And the vor v Zakone title doesn't make you less of a target. It makes you a bigger one. Because everyone wants something from you. And you can't give it to everyone. And every no creates an enemy. 30 years old. At the top of Moscow's criminal world. Your name known across 3 continents. And here's what you've learned. Power doesn't mean protection. Power means being a target. And in this life, every target has its day.